Hello and welcome. I hope you had a good Labor Day. You celebrated you being a worker, working from home, enjoying being at home, and at the same time appreciating that you can still work in isolation. Welcome to another day, yes, gifted to you. My name is Winnie Kamuya, CEO, International Renaissance Center, an international best-selling author, a speaker, and a coach. So, you need to accept yourself, because when you accept yourself, you're working towards your self-confidence. And accepting yourself means you go through processes which include letting go of the past, because when you let go of the past, you help yourself to become more authentic and more who you are. Because when you understand who you are, then you are in a better position to be authentic and to deliver what you ought to deliver to the world. Today, I want to help you understand that letting go of the past and forgiving yourself is very necessary towards helping yourself to build a better you who can show up. So let's get down to business and let's look at what will you do when you let go. How you can forgive yourself. Starting today, you need to understand you've let go of the past. The question is, have you forgiven yourself? If you have, why are you holding into that? And how can you go through that guilt? Number one, determine if you should feel guilty. Are you feeling guilty based on the standards you've set for yourself? The standards your parents set for you? The standards your colleagues set for you? Or the standards that you have set for yourself? Or the standards the environment is setting for you? Because when you look at what you're guilty of, was it something that was set by others or yourself? How do you address that, and how do you ensure that you set your own standards so that you are able to deal with the consequences of the things that you face? Number two, what did you learn from the mistake that you made? What lessons, what feedback did you get? If any, what did it teach you? Because from each mistake, you are learning something. What did you learn from this mistake? How is it helping you build a better you? Because when you are getting better, you're growing yourself, you're growing your confidence, because that is what you need. Number three, remember that sometimes feeling guilty can be unproductive. Why? You could be feeling guilty about something you have no control over. And if you're still feeling guilty about something you have no control over, there's nothing much you can do about it. You should stop it. Number four, have you apologized? And if you have, good, it helps you to get to the next stage, because you are no longer feeling guilty. You have allowed yourself to go through the process, and now you've learned your lessons, and you know you should not repeat on that. Number five, accept that you feel guilty. It's a normal human feeling to feel guilty, and when you accept feeling guilty, it helps you to move on, to accept, to be able to move to the next level, because it means that you recognize something was not correct. Then, number six, forgive yourself. Have some grace on yourself. We know that the hardest person to forgive is yourself. So forgive yourself and let go. Number eight. So if you are going to forgive yourself, you have to let go. You need to free yourself. You cannot go on holding on to something that does not add value to you. Number 8, have gratitude, because after making a mistake, lessons you've learned, be grateful that from it you've taken away something that you will have, and you will know that from the lessons you've learned that you are better and that you've grown and that you know better on how to handle such a thing in the future. But what if you keep feeling guilty and guilty? What should you do? How do you avoid this? What else can you do? The question is, are you feeling guilty? If you are feeling guilty, maybe the questions or the strategies you should apply, and the question you could ask yourself is, did you think or did you react? Because sometimes when a mistake is occurring, the first thing to do is to react. You don't even think what will be the consequences of your action, you react. So now, you know better. Do you need to react or to think? You will need to think before you react, so that later you don't regret. Number 2, be less critical of yourself. I've said, have grace on yourself. Be less critical of yourself. Understand yourself and understand that you can give yourself grace. You are not perfect. And if you understand you're not a perfect human being, then you will have more grace on yourself, and you can allow yourself to go through the process, and that will help you to grow. Number 3, create realistic beliefs. What you believe about yourself, because this is what helps you to create the standards that you look up on. And that is why it's important to set your own standards, so that if you create your own standard, you are not feeling guilty based on standards of other people. And other people could include your siblings, your parents, your teacher, your environment, your friends, your colleagues, your relatives, all of those. We want you to set your own standards, which you can follow, which you can question, which you can change, because sometimes they change based on your exposure. And when you're exposed to certain things, or when you make mistakes, you grow from one stage to another. So learn from your mistakes and learn to apologize, forgive yourself, and ensure that if you're forgiving yourself, you are also celebrating that you are growing and that those mistakes taught you a lesson, because you are learning every day through the mistakes, through your pasts, through the experiences. You're still learning. Don't forget that. And 4 simple steps you can use when you want to forgive yourself. Number 1, confront your mistake. This is what I did. Confront your mistake. What is that mistake that you made? Because that can help you look through and scan through and ask yourself the very questions you need to ask yourself to face it, to solve it, to deal with it, to confront it, whatever it is that you need. Number 2, analyze the impact. This is a mistake I made. Did this affect anybody or anything, or what went wrong due to my mistake? And I guess when you look at it like that, then you are able to address many other things, because then you are able to ask yourself, so I made this mistake, I did the report, it was not properly done, I made several mistakes, I did not consult, I just finished the report, I sent the report, and here is the report, and here is my boss saying the report is done badly. So what are some of the lessons you've learned from that? The lessons you've learned is consult with others, listen to others, get their views, take into consideration what could be important or missing, Get the mistakes they've seen in the report, correct the report so that when it goes out, it will be good and it will be done without mistakes. And also, listen to others, because maybe you don't love to listen to others. You always believe you are the ultimate truth, or the person who's got all the answers. Get the input from others, appreciate others, and appreciate other people's input, because it adds value to what you are doing. And number 3, accept that you are human and humans are imperfect. This is one thing that you will remind yourself over and over. As long as you remember you are human, then you know you are not perfect, you are imperfect. And being imperfect, you learn from your mistakes. So when you make the mistakes, then make sure you still ensure that those mistakes teach you, and you correct those mistakes, and you ensure that in the next time when you do the same thing, you do it better. Why? Because you've learned. And how have you learned? Through the mistakes that you got, or the feedback that you got. And those feedback help you to grow, help you to become better. They help you to ensure that you are growing, and now you are getting better and better. Remember one thing, that you have to let go of your mistakes, and you have to learn to forgive yourself and give yourself some grace. You are human, and if you are human, you are imperfect. And if you are imperfect and you accept that as a human being, you've made progress. Because then, even when you show up, because at the end of the day, you want to show up as authentic as you. And you are human. So if you're going to show up, you will show up as you, and you will still be proud as you. It is very bad when you feel you are not you. It is so depressing, and we don't want you to feel that. You have to feel, I am me, and no one else is me. You deserve to feel confident about you. You deserve to be confident, because you are you, and no one else is you. My challenge today, if you are not letting go, if you are not forgiving yourself, take down your notebook. And if you have a journal, even better. What do you need to look at to address forgiving yourself or letting go, so that you can forgive yourself? 4 things. Number 1, confront your mistake. What did you do? Number 2, analyze the impact. What went wrong? Who did it affect? How did it change? What did I learn? And number 3, accept you are human and you are imperfect. Number 4, vow that you won't make the same mistake again. When you vow, you make a commitment. And when you make a commitment, guess who you are making this commitment to? You. Yes, because you deserve to be confident, you deserve to show up, and you deserve to show up as authentic as you. And you deserve to feel good about yourself. And you deserve to be confident, because no one else can be you. You are you, I am me. I celebrate you, and I believe you deserve to be confident, and you deserve to be you. No one else can replace you. And until next time, I pray and hope that you will take up the challenge and let yourself be confident by letting go and forgiving yourself. Showing up in the world, because when you're confident, you show up in the world. You show up in the world because the world needs you. We need you. You deserve to be confident because you are you and you are confident. Until next time, it's a goodbye and thank you for taking time to watch. Leave your comments and feedback below. Goodbye.